Putin interviews with Oliver Stone, where he did like a 4-part documentary where he went and interviewed Putin. Like he interviewed him for like 6 hours. He has survived through so many presidents, right? So he has this perspective on Trump, on Bush, on Clinton, on Obama. And
I mean, the guy's basically a dictator. Let's call him what he is. He's not relinquishing power.
Right. No.
But before him, Russia was a joke.
But
right? Like
right.
You compare Yeltsin to him.
Right.
Yeltsin was drunk. This guy's like shirt off, horseback, judo, like let's go. You know.
Yeah.
He fought wars against Chechnya. He invaded Georgia. Like the guy's much. You can't even compare him to Yeltsin. I just think there's a lot of people that are in power that do not have the interest of our nation first.
Yeah. Mm.
They make interest based on the interest of their group, their people, whoever they are. You know, people have different names to them, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, it's a theory, a sea theory, right?"
Conspiracy theory, yeah.
So
yes.
I tend to lean towards that because a lot of the stuff that goes on doesn't make sense, man. It's not in our interest. Why are we doing it?
That's like kind of the point I was making about Putin, where it's he's a dictator and he's not relinquishing power, and that's bad, right? But is it good that we just have a brand new person to run our country every 4 years or every 8 years that has to learn the job and get elected through this joke of a political system that we have here, these two binary options that we have that are and then Fox News tells you to vote this way and CNN tells you to vote that way. It's just like a fucking circus, really.
And then if you don't want to vote for either, what's your vote? I mean,
like, what is it? Would it be better to have a president for 10 years versus 4 years? I don't know.
It's actually a great question. I mean, I don't know either. I don't know why there has to be, you know, given that we have secure elections and everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. And we should probably nix that word because that'll probably kill the algorithm. Yeah. But getting back to the point, you know, I don't have a problem if the American people vote for someone to stay in power for 25 years and they're doing a good job. Who cares? Mm-hmm. You know, like if, you know, we had this extraordinary leader and we keep voting, the masses vote for him, then who cares? But it's still a democracy and you're still voting for that person to stay in power. Mm. Why break something that's amazing? If we have a human being who puts us first and cares, to me, a leader is someone who's willing to sacrifice themselves for their people. If we use that definition to describe a leader, you don't have not one in Washington, D.C.
Right.
You don't have a single leader.
And it's so obvious that the people that are in power in America, no matter who they are, whether it be the president or any of these other given politicians, senators, whatever, they all want that really badly. Like they started in this weird system.
Be careful of the one who seeks power.
Yeah, exactly. The one who wants it is the one who should not have it.
A true leader is the one that is such an amazing person that the masses say, no, you need to do it. Like you need to be the one. You know, you have a divine responsibility if you're a spiritual person. When you're a leader, you're put in control of every single living creature under your realm. You're accountable for it. If a tree gets cut down for no reason, that's on you. You're literally in charge of every living creature under your rule and every resource. And if these things are being squandered and not used appropriately and not used for the benefits of the masses, and you're making decisions that are only for you and your friends, you're not a leader. You're an evil criminal is what you are. You are not a leader. A leader is one who is so humble, they're willing to sacrifice themselves for the hive. Mm-hmm. And we don't have a single politician in this entire nation, except, you know, maybe the guy he's doing a pretty good job here, man, where you guys live. But other than that,
DeSantis.
Yeah, the rest of them, you know, I'm not here to get into the little squanderings of what you believe ideologically with birth. And I'm talking about just what he did for your state during the most volatile time ever to keep you guys afloat, where you've become one of the most desired places to live. Your property values skyrocket. Your employment is stable. I'm driving around and life is normal in the midst of what was the biggest storm we've ever seen on our shores. You know, to me, he has the characteristics of a leader. You're not going to agree with everything he does.
Right.
But the overwhelming decisions he's made have benefited your state and every person that lives in this state.
You think he runs against Trump?
I think he'd be stupid not to. I'd vote for him. I wouldn't.
Yeah. He seems much more disciplined.
He's just
much more level-headed.
Very respectful person, bro. Very calm, you know. Listen, again, some people hate some of the certain issues that are very touchy right now, especially with reproduction and all that stuff. But as far as what he does for the state and for the people and for business, the guy's he's a freaking rock star, bro.
He really is.
He's amazing.
How do you think this gets fixed? How do you think we fix the problem in America with the leadership? And
there was a song that came out in the 80s. I think it was Mike and the Mechanics. All I need is a miracle. All I need is help. We're in trouble. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. But I think the responsibility comes back to each individual American to educate themselves, to be open-minded, to be scared when conversations are suppressed, because that has always been the first step to tyranny in any society. When you see, even if you hate the other group and you can't stand their ideals, their principles, or whatever the case may be, when you allow them to be silenced, you are next, you idiot. You will be next to be silenced. So these are the red flags that scare me as someone that comes from a part of a world where that was the norm. And if you voiced your opinion, you disappeared in the middle of the night. So any shape or form of that even creeping into our society, whether it's through social media, whether it's through policies and laws, must be turned down, must be defeated, must not happen. Everyone should be able to voice their opinion the way me and you are talking right now. You can either choose to listen or not. But when we do not allow these conversations to happen, we're in a very, very dangerous predicament.